Hello from the Bass Channel. I'm Dave, and this is Mike, specifically the RE320 mic from Electro-Voice. Yes, that's right. Today we are talking microphones. Now, you can use this microphone for vocals as we're doing right now, but our focus is going to be a little bit more on using it for recording, specifically popping it on your bass cab and recording your bass with it. So for those of you who are not familiar with the RE320, this is sort of the descendant of the RE20 microphone, but it has a couple of different things going on with it. Number one, it's less expensive by a decent chunk. Number two, it's got imported internals. It is not all made in USA, but the biggest difference is that it's a hotter, brighter microphone than the RE20 is. In the future, we're actually going to do a comparison between this mic and the RE20, but for now, I'll just go ahead and tell you roughly the specs are simply that it's a cardioid mic. It's got a neodymium magnet, so that makes it a little louder and hotter, and it's got two frequency modes. One is vocal or instrument mode, which I'm using right now, and the other is you flip this little switch on the bottom here, and it changes it to kick mode. And by kick mode, it basically gives a little bit of change to the frequencies so that it's more optimized for recording kick drums, but also it's pretty good for recording bass cabs as well. Basically, kick mode changes the frequency response a little bit in a couple of different ways. Number one, it gives it a gentle dip, about 4 decibels, centered on 300 hertz. That's kind of to tighten up the bass and low mid response a bit. The second thing it does is it gives you a little presence boost by about 8 decibels at 4 kilohertz. I'm going to flip it back to vocal mode now, just in case I'm getting a little too sibilant or too crackly or anything in kick mode. All right, now the difference between the two modes, at least as it is recording bass, is not going to be night and day on clean bass sounds, but you will get a much more noticeable difference on distorted bass sounds. Much like some distortions engage a notch or some other kind of EQ trickery to really focus the distortion sound, a very similar thing happens with this mic. All right, so now that you've heard a few sound samples, let's just talk pros and cons a little bit. Number one, in vocal mode, in flat, I guess as flat as Eevee's built-in EQ curve makes it, in flat mode, it sounds very similar, holds its own with the more expensive RE20. At the time of this filming, the RE20 is about $450 US, while the RE320 is about $300. And the flip side of it, it's not really a con insofar as it's still a great mic, but it's not necessarily going to beat a more dedicated kick drum mic for getting that punchy bass response, like we see in our favorite, the Beta 52 microphone, for example. So all in all, this, for being a more budget-friendly microphone, it is a fairly versatile microphone. In both modes, it sounds good, and while it won't necessarily win the top award, it's still one of our favorite microphones, and we've used it quite a bit. And that's going to be about it for talking about my friend Mike here. And go ahead and like and subscribe. Click the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of our videos upcoming. And of course, check out the affiliate link below if you want to get one of these for yourself or anything else over at our friends at zZounds. I'm Dave from the Bass Channel, and as Chris would say, be safe, and we'll see you next time.